Alright, yeah, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today, oh my goodness, do I have a special deck for you. This absolute Landfall Madness deck that just came out of nowhere for me. Built it because we'd done Landfall previously in Standard 2022, and it hadn't done all that great. So I've decided to revisit it since Renin 7 is a card now, and honestly, it's very strange because Renin 7 isn't even, like, the best thing this deck ever does. Like, I barely see this card, and we're still ruffle stomping our opponents to death. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably, like, the meta has shifted away from old Standard 2022 archetypes that would have, you know, absolutely destroyed us, and gone towards different fun new things that have forgotten that this deck can do a thing. So let's talk about it, shall we? It's a Landfall deck, so it's built around the Zendikar archetype. And that's another thing as well. Everybody's exploring all the old cards and things like that because, obviously, there's been a fair few people who've been playing old, boring Standard where Bone Crusher Giant's a thing, and you can't get away with decks like this. But, yeah, new Standard, you sure as hell can. The win rate on this one speaks for itself. But yes, Landfall, let's talk about it. Our payoffs with actual Landfall written on their text are Scoot Swarm, which I'm sure most of you all know at this point. It's a 3-mana 1-1 with Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you can create a 1-1 insect creature token. However, if you control 6 or more lands, you create a copy of Scoot Swarm instead, which means the next land that enters has 2 Scoot Swarms to trigger. It makes an exact copy of the card, which is great. Felidar Retreat is a 4-mana enchantment with Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you choose one of these options, either creating a 2-2 or putting a counter on each creature you control, and those creatures gain Vigilance until the end of the turn. So if you can combo these two together, you make a Scoot Swarm token, then you put counters on each of your creatures. You're putting effectively more counters per land drop onto the board, which is just absolutely insane. The reason why we're playing this deck, though, as we've mentioned, is Renin 7, the 5-mana legendary Planeswalker, the Tree Folk thing. I think it's a Tree Folk anyway, I don't know. It merges with trees. But yeah, 5-mana, 5 loyalty. The tick-up is reveal the top 4 cards of your library and put all lands revealed this way into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. The rest into your graveyard is honestly a bit annoying. We don't synergize with it too much, but the putting 4 lands into your hand is certainly a relevant thing, because we've got Evolving Wilds and we've got Field of Ruins as well. All of these allow us to get like 2 land drops per turn, in effect. I don't actually think there is an additional land drop kind of card in this format right now. I'm not sure. Either way, though, once we've filled our hand with lands, we can pay the 0 to put any number of land cards into our hand, from our hand, onto the battlefield, tapped. So that's our way of making multiple land drops, gets us right to the top end of our curve. Our top end is Ancient Green Warden, which allows us to play our Evolving Wilds and our Field of Ruins, essentially from the graveyard, and it doubles the triggers that are caused by lands entering. So per land, you get 2 Felidar Retreats, you get 2 Scoot Swarm triggers, you get sometimes double Innkeeper triggers, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. Well, to be fair, Innkeeper gaining life off these triggering definitely works, but it's not the Green Warden that provides that. But yeah, anyway. The -3 on Renin 7 is what makes it actually playable in general. Not so much in this deck, but in general makes it playable. The -3 creates a green creature with Reach, and this creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of lands you control. So if you play it on curve, that is a 5-mana 5/5 with Reach, which, guess what? The best 5-mana creature in the format right now is Goldspan Dragon, and that's a 4/4. So Renin 7 on its -3 creates a blocker that can block the best creature in the format. Fantastic. The -8 returns all permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand, and then you get an emblem with you have no maximum hand size. We don't get to that in today's video, unfortunately, spoiler alert, but I imagine that's pretty good. That makes the +1 all the more worthwhile, because everything in this deck, aside from the Dryad's Revivals, are permanents. So yeah, basically fill your hand to no end. Dryad's Revival, though, 3 mana, return a card from your graveyard to your hand, so this is to counteract the fact that there's a bit of a feels bad with the +1 on Renin 7. Also, the fact that our game plan is revolving around things like Felidar Retreat. It'd be really nice if our opponent destroyed those and we got them back, for example. The rest of our deck is Ramp. We've got Lotus Cobra, we've got Innkeeper, and we've got Florahedron, and to a certain extent we've got the Marasa Root Grazer. Lotus Cobra has Landfall as well. It's a 2-mana 2/1. Whenever land enters the battlefield, you add 1 mana of any colour. This card absolutely carries this deck at times. This allows you to get extremely far ahead of your curve. If you got a Evolving Wilds or a Field of Ruin, for example, you're going to be able to have it enter, gain a mana off of it entering, and then crack it, gain another mana off of it entering. Otherwise, each land basically adds 2 when it enters, which is just absurd. Innkeeper, 2-mana 1/1 that makes a treasure, so it's a pseudo-ramp spell, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. So if we have Scoot Swarms triggering, that's every single land gains us loads of life, so should be able to gain too much life for our opponent to really get back with, and, you know, it's nice that it ramps as well. Florahedron is a land and a creature, so we can make additional land drops in the late game if it's relevant, otherwise we can get a 1/1 onto the board. Marasa Root Grazer allows us to put a land from our hand onto the battlefield, so if we have a basic land, then we get to benefit from that. But we can also, if we are that late in the game where we've played basically all of our lands, we can use the other ability to return a basic land to its owner's hand, so we can pull 1 back to get the landfall triggers going all over again. And it's a 2/3 vigilance as well for 2, so it's actually quite nicely started, but it does need to untap to get its value out of it, so that's why it's only a 2 of here. We have a grand total of 22 lands here. However, should be noted that these are lands and these are lands, so yeah, pretty good there. The Kabira takedowns, dealing damage equal to the number of creatures we control to a creature or planeswalker. Not often relevant or needed, but that means that we can put it in as a land, but if we do need it, we go very wide with Chariots and Scoot Swarms and all that nonsense that often this can be just a hard removal spell. So it's really nice to have removal in our land. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, all that nonsense, and let's get to it. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty, we're in, and this hand contains no ramp at all. Got 12 ramp sources in our deck from turn 2, and none of them are here, so I think this is a pretty easy mulligan. Otherwise it would have some pretty nice cards and a reasonable enough curve. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. All the ramp, none of the payoff necessarily this time though. What do we want to get rid of? Probably just the Dryad's Revival. Green Warden can have its value, but the Revival is only good if the things that I play don't stick around. And well, as much as I do believe that our opponents always have the right answers, fairly confident, probably, oh, there you go, probably didn't need it. Alright. Yeah, ramping out just into Green Warden's not really where I want to be, but perhaps could be worse. Right, so if I played Lotus Cobra and played a land, I would get 3 mana remaining. That allows me to revival, but that's not actually that good. So I think I'll just play Lotus Cobra, play the farmland, do the do, and pass the turn. Next turn's going to be something special, hopefully. Boreal Outrider for our opponents. This is one that puts additional counters if snow mana was spent to cast that card. So, okay. Green Snow. Scale the Heights. Budget Uro. They've got a 4/3. Fortunately for them, that is very much not a threat to me. Ooh, hello, hello, hello. Okay. Evolving Wilds. Is that what I want to do? Hang on. I want to get Ren and 7 into play and Green Warden if it's doable, but I don't think it is. So we'll just go with, like, Green Warden, maybe. I don't know. Is Renin 7 just fine here, though? I guess Renin 7's just fine. It's the most mana efficient. I can keep my Evolving Wilds. Let's make a 4/4. Can use to block the Boreal Outrider, so that we don't have to use our Lotus Cobras. At least we have a target for Dryad's Revival now, and it's kind of on theme because it's got Renin 7 on there. Ooh, beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until the end of the turn. That's cute. As long as it doesn't have trample, though, it can be whatever power they want it to be. And it wouldn't make a difference. So we're going to just block here. Pass. Oh, where's my payoff? We'll find it by doing this. There's a payoff. Right, so. So. Dryad's Revival. Felidar Retreat. Evolving Wilds, make 2 mana. Some white. Crack Evolving Wilds. Grab a forest. Make some green. Play the Felidar Retreat. And now we can make a 2/2. It even does it on their turn, that's interesting to know. Can make a 2/2 to block. Although, honestly, I'm at the stage where I'm like, should I even care? Because of the stupid things I'm going to be able to do with Green Warden if I don't lose a Lotus Cobra here. I can do some very, 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 very silly things here and probably even pay for the revival next turn, so like... maybe this is just a perfectly acceptable trade deal. Actually, no, I've just thought, because I can use the 0 on Renin 7 and get a lot of value out of it. So, let's do this. Let's make a 2/2. Make some mana, doesn't matter. Go to blockers, block the Outrider. Oh, good lord. Okay, so, Lotus Cobra. Going to put any number of lands onto the battlefield tapped. Doesn't really matter because it's all about the Lotus Cobra triggers here. Let's make some 2/2s. Lots and lots of mana. Let's make a little bit of white. I don't think I actually need the white, but... play you out. Then we're going to go... Evolving Wilds. Go wild. 2/2. 2/2. Some green. Some white. Some green. Some white. Some green. Some green. Let's... my graveyard is full of Kabira takedowns, if I cared. I actually do, because they've got a Hound Tamer. So... let's Dryad's Revival, get a Kabira takedown. What? Got 3, 7, 8. So, takedown. Kill the Trampler. I suppose I might as well crack this for green. Only got 4 basics left. So, got to be aware of that. Counters. Green, whatever. We're actually going to just use the rest of this mana on the Lair of the Hydra. So that is an X6. Oops. X6. Get in with the team. and be completely fine with whatever our opponent does next turn. Pretty sure that's the case anyway, because we double down on the Evolving Wilds that's already in play, we play another one, all of those are going to be putting counters and making vigilant creatures. So, yeah, I only really have to sacrifice 2 of my big pile of creatures here. Froghemoth is a 6/6. Pales in comparison to my board state, but it is quite cute, we'll admit. So, 4, 8, 12. Chomp. Chomp. I don't even need to chomp with the other one. But for safety's sake and the fact that I probably still just win anyway, we'll go for it. Final card is... It's got to be like a... I don't even know if Blizzard Brawl would even do it, to be honest. Alright, so... Take up. Play Evolving Wilds. Counters every single time. Green mana, Chariot. Could go with Lair of the Hydra as well, but I don't really need to. Just gonna absolutely destroy them. Good lord, this deck's so good. Alright, on to the next one. Hello, hello, let's have a look what we got. We got Pseudo Ramp. Is it good enough being that it's Pseudo Ramp? We got the Marasa Root Grazer that can put me a land into play. Problem is it's all Evolving Wilds. That's the real problem. So, I play a land on my turn 1, draw a card, of course. Turn 2, play the Grazer, I've got another card. Turn 3, I have to play Evolving Wilds, which is probably going to put me off of these guys, so yeah, I think it's a mull. And this looks a lot better. Go down... Florahedron? Lotus Cobras are much better. Let's see how we do. I mean, just bug tokens is fine for Scoot Swarms in the early game. Should be able to manage them. Lawhold Excavation. Mills of Flame Channeler. Cute. I like it. Let's go Green Source, Lotus Cobra. They seem like the deck that will be able to kill the Lotus Cobra, but if they can't, then we get to do some shenanigans next turn. Rowan. Is this 1 damage to any target? It's just each opponent. Another Evolving Wilds. That's honestly really nice. I think we go Lotus Cobra, play the Evolving Wilds, get 2 green. Or 2 white, actually. Doesn't really matter, but... We're going to go for the Felidar Retreat here. A basic Plains is fine. Green, green. Play Felidar Retreat, attack Rowan for 2. Alright. We're just about in the spot where we don't really need the Lotus Cobras. I'd rather keep them, of course, but... Yeah, should be threatening Rowan here. Smoldering Egg. Mills a land, gains a life. Oh, that's huge. Okay, hang on. We want to gain some life here. We're going to skip like 1 landfall trigger to gain a lot of life, which I think is just perfectly fine. Get the Innkeeper down. Play the Evolving Wilds to trigger the Lotus Cobras. We're going to go for cats. Green. Green. Swarm. And then it looks like we're killing Rowan. Goodbye, Rowan. They could have a play with fire here, which I can't really protect my Lotus Cobras against.
A challenge means I need more work.
And I want to be very cautious about committing much more to this board. Because I don't really understand their deck, but it seems very burn heavy. The land gains a life. So, like, I could crack this Evolving Wilds. I think it's worth more on my turn. Good game, opponent. This is where they concede. They appear to have not conceded. You said it was good game, opponent? Counters, please. I'm saving Scoot Swarm because I think there might be a board wipe that I'm not thinking about. There is, like, Cinderclasm. I can't remember if that's instant or sorcery, though. So I'm a bit hesitant to crack my next Evolving Wilds if they do it in response. Make your mark. +1/+0. Make a spirit if it dies. Well, that's fine. Yeah, I'll pass the turn. I'll leave a Scoot Swarm in my hand to be on the safe side because I don't understand their deck. I can always Evolving Wilds on end step if I really feel like I need to, which I don't really feel like I need to. The game 1 life. Because I can always just top deck lands off the top, you see. This is actually Scoot Swarm enabled now. Counters, please. Now we're out of Cinderclasm range, we can crack in response. Demon Bolts. Alright, well they tapped out, so now we go Evolving Wilds. Grab another Forest. Do our shenanigans, we get spare Scoot Swarms, they all get counters. Gain a lot of life. Yeah. Irrelevant. Yield to the Lotus Cobras. Yep. Another Scoot Swarm, another life, counters on everything. It's good stuff. More mana, which will get floated away. We'll have to pay the mana burn cost on that. So, most damage on my board. Victory, by the way. Completely undefeated with this deck, I think, so far. The most damage on my board is a 5 of, so they block here, they take 5, 10, 14. Oh no, 18. They are mega dead. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know what their deck is. Seemed spicy. Didn't seem to do anything, though. So, yeah, on to the next one. Okay, opponent goes first. You've got a hand. It's definitely a hand. It's got Magic the Gathering cards in it. I think it's keepable. Kibira take down on 1. Lair on 2, Innkeeper. Chariot and potentially Renin 7 to follow, or Felidar Retreat. It's a weird one, but it's keepable. I think with a hand like this, I would always accept more lands. Join the dance, make some 1/1s. Oh, a Lotus Cobra. Who's the better ramp creature then? It's probably just Lotus Cobra. Miss out on a point of life by not playing the Innkeeper. I think I'll be okay. Take 3. The point of life actually can be relevant here. So I can do Farmland, Felidar Retreat, take another big beating. Then Innkeeper, Florahedron, make my land drop. It's getting spooky. Yeah, I think it's important to get Felidar Retreat down. Pass the turn. One's got a Paladin class and can lord up their creatures. Now it's bad. 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. We've just got to take it all. We're at 3. So, Innkeeper, Root Grazer, Hedron as a land, make a 2/2, gain a life, make some green, pass the turn, and now we're on kind of chump blocks. It's got Sigarda, which lords them all up. Yeah. My first loss. We kind of even did our thing as well, it just wasn't quite fast enough. Our opponent's got a pretty cool deck. Yeah, can't win. Alright, no blocks. You mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. It's certainly true. It's certainly true. If only our opponent knew we were on the same game plan. Alright, fair enough. Our first loss. I feel like I'm like 6-1 with this deck now, so... yeah, can't feel too bad about that at all. On to the next one. Alright, we go first. We've got essentially just a hand that plays Scoot Swarm into Chariot. Is that good enough? I suppose it could be. Kabira Takedown is reasonable enough removal. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. I could get severely punished for a hand like this, though, if they're a little bit more aggressive than I give them credit for. How do I want to lead, though? Because I do think I want to have Kabira Takedown ready to go on a post-Scoot Swarm turn. So I feel like that means I have to go with the Evolving Wilds to get the white source ready. Windrobber. Fun trying rogues. Good luck with that, opponent. Okay, we'll go Lair here because that's a tap land next turn. And it's going to be just Farmland Scoot Swarm by the looks of it. Everything in Rogues has rotated out. Maybe they're just playing like a mill deck. They still have the Hedron Crab equivalent. Ruin Crab, I think it's called. And there's a black source. Ren and 7 can pump out reach creatures. We're just going to go Scoot Swarm for now, though, and see if they have an answer for it. If they don't, then we get to Scoot a couple times. I'm probably going to play the other Scoot as well. They don't seem like the board wiping kind of deck. Although they could have Crippling Fear. The tribal board wipe. 2 lands into the yard, unfortunate. And Soul Shatter a Scoot Swarm. Yeah, couldn't care less about that. Because we got another. Play a land. Get a bug. This is mana value, so if they used it again, I would lose my Scoot Swarm. It's probably going to be Ren 7 minus next turn. Can block and kill one Windrobber and then survive the other. So that's kind of annoying. I can Kabira Takedown that, though. I don't really want to trade a Tree Folk for it, so... I'm at 7 cards. They need 8 cards in order to sack these. So if I actually went kill Windrobber, then kill Scavenger, they can't sack the one I'm trying to kill in response. I just don't know how much I care about these 1/1s. Like, they're milling me, but who cares? It's just efficient, that's all. Yeah, I don't think I care. I'm just going to kill the Scavenger, which is annoying. And then maybe I'll care about it later. I'll just leave it open, because it's instant speed and I can get rid of any X3s as it currently stands. And it goes land. Foretells a card. So the only one they could use here is Poison the Cup. Because I've only got 1 blue source. Could be any number of things, though, honestly. Come on, I have flashback cards in my deck, so they could be helping me eventually. Yeah, Poison the Cup would be unfortunate, because I would go minus Ren and 7, have a Tree Folk, they'd kill it, then I'd be on the back foot. But if I went with the Kabira takedown here, they only have one creature. Even if they kill the tree folk, then Ren's still on 1 after damage. So that lack of not hitting the Windrobber with takedown has finally come back to bite me, but that's fine. Felidar retreat. It's good after we tick up with Ren, if we get to tick up with Ren. Actually, why would I even tick down with Ren? Let's just tick up, get lands for Scoot Swarm. Evolving Wilds, fantastic. Because now I'm getting Scoot Swarms. And that's good. Yeah, I got a little bit tunnel visioned on my Ren, thinking about lines that had already been and gone. So it kind of depends on what we draw next turn as to our line. If we draw an extra land here, we 0 Ren and 6 after we play the Felidar retreat. Otherwise, we just tick up for more lands and try and get another Evolving Wilds, I suppose. Yep. This has to hit players in order to mill, so the milling is over. I got up to 36 of my cards in my deck. There's a Nighthawk Scavenger. Yeah, sure. So let us think about this. I think we keep the Evolving Wilds uncracked for now. Play Felidar Retreat. Put any number of land cards. Actually, I think if I do this full control, I get a little bit more influence over what happens here, because I want to make all the Scoots, and then I want to crack the Evolving Wilds, make more Scoots, then put counters on them. So counter, counter. Make the Scoot. Make the Scoot, make the Scoot, make the Scoot. Crack the Wilds. Make more Scoots. And another Evolving Wilds trigger. We've actually run out of basics. Crazy. Opponent has been milling us, I suppose. Just go for counters. Seems good. Alright. Threatening lethal, so Nighthawk Scavenger blocks a Scoot Swarm. The real Scoot Swarm. How did they know? So now I don't have to care about the Nighthawk Scavenger. Pass the turn. And it's board wipe or bust, and Crippling Fear won't get them there, so they have to have land into Meat Hook Massacre. I don't think there'd be a Shadow's Verdict deck, but that would also do it. They had a Sort coming in there for Telzone. Yeah, that wasn't going to do much for you when making land drops is my game plan. Oh, I love it. Fantastic. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, we play first. We have a hand that we can keep, so we will do such things. Let's see. I believe we're going to lead off with Floral Hedron tapped here, then go lair into Lotus Cobra, which means farmland's untapped, and we keep the Evolving Wilds for Lotus Cobra shenanigans. Yeah, so lair Lotus Cobra. We're getting some mono white here. If we can do like Innkeeper and Felidar Retreat together, I could see us doing alright. We've got to dodge a portable hole though. Luminarch Aspirant's not bad. Don't care too much for that. I'm gonna, like, quickest no blocks of all time there. So let's go farmland, make white, go retreat. Yeah, go retreat. Initial investment, I think, is worth it. We could have gone Chariot and made 2/2/2s, which keeps our opponent from attacking us. I don't care about this one bit. So they can pump a 4/3, sorry. I can quickly say no blocks again, because I don't care. And then we go Felidar retreat, make a 2/2. And I think now is where we start winning the game. So green. Crack Evolving Wilds. Green. Another 2/2. I'm honestly torn whether or not I want to make a million 2/2s. Or if I just want to make a blocker. I think maybe the -3 is okay here.
They prepare for war.
The trees prepare for war. And then we can play that chariot they took away from us very briefly. I'll trade a tree folk off for a spellbinder so we can carry on doing what we were doing. Because I think the Ren 7/0 is going to be pretty good. Opponent stunned. We've stunned him. What say you, opponent? They're thinking to themselves, wait, I put cards in my deck that weren't lands, and I'm losing to this deck that just put lands in play. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Maybe they've got like a Kabira takedown they're thinking of, or a portable hole, or the other alternative is the salty rope. I mean, I'm not seeing any hovering of cards here, so salty rope sounds about right. I do love me some salt. And will fully accept it. Yeah, I mean, this seemed like a pretty good matchup, honestly. Usually I would say our best lines against Mono White would be to get the Prosperous Innkeeper and hope to God they don't have a portable hole for it. And then from there all of our tokens would... Hello. All of our tokens entering would gain us a lot of life. So I'll play you, I'll play you. Let's put some counters on some stuff. Make some green. Pay 0. Get you into play. Get some counters. Get some green. Play for the chariot. Get some tokens. Gain some life and swing out. I mean, our opponent's long gone, so... This seems pretty good. What is this, Is it turn 4? Turn 5? I've lost count now. We played Lotus Cobra on 2. On 3 we played Felidar Retreat. On this is probably turn 5 then, right? Turn 5 we rend and did our thing, and I don't even know. I don't even know. It was years ago. Years and years ago. Our opponent left long time. Maybe they died of old age, it's been that long. They're certainly hoping I will concede. I'll be like, poor opponent. Hang on. Don't know if you guys have noticed, but this emote's very good. I love that Geezer emote. Alright. Fair enough. It's not exactly how I wanted to end today's video on a salty rope, but it is always nice to get that little bit of salty taste in your mouth just before the end of a night. Really gets you going. But either way, yeah, this deck is sweet. I highly recommend playing it. I have an exceptionally good win rate with it. Lost like once or twice, I think, the entire time we've played it now. And yeah, I think it's felt pretty consistent every single time. It's just Felidar Retreat. Tried making this deck before in Standard 2022 and it didn't work out, but yeah, I think the additions of like Ren and 7 Adding the Lotus Cobra I don't think I had in last time, among other things, has definitely made a mark on this one. But I just love the idea of Chariot making copies of these Tree Folk tokens. We didn't even get a chance to do it, to be honest. But that availability there, just to have these really powerful 4-drop threats, was just super awesome. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and if you have, hit that like button and subscribe. Leave a comment down below what you guys have been playing in the Midnight Hunt Standard. I'd love to hear from y'all about your favourite lists right now. Maybe you've come up with something new. Let me know. But yeah, take care guys, and have a wonderful rest of your day.